Now, what I'm talking about with this and me presenting drum set music to you based on this this part of my Zappa month, okay, is putting forward his orchestral side, also his compositional side, of which I would like to talk about a little bit. We all know already that Frank Zappa's favourite composer was Edgar Varese, but less known is that he became great friends with another composer, conductor and theorist, music theorist called Nicholas Sluminski. And so much so that a friend of mine, Alan Zavod, who was the keyboard player for the Zappa 1984 touring band, he's a Melbourne guy, just like myself. And Alan and I go back to the early 1980s, pre-Frank Zappa times, when we were doing sessions, and he, played with a jazz singer that I used to play with as well, in more ways than one. But but what goes on is Alan Zavod actually talked about Nicholas Sluminski and his very famous book, The Thesaurus, I've got to say it properly, The Thesaurus of Scales and Melodic Patterns. And Alan, when I was filming Alan for the show, Alan Zavod, Alan's played with my old band as well. We've done King Kong together and lots of jamming and stuff. But when I talked to Alan about this, he said, I've got a copy of that book. He went over, picked it out, and he started playing sections of it. And I said, do you realise that that sounds just like Pound for a Brown? One of Frank Zappa's famous compositions. And what I want to do with the music that I'm presenting on the drums tonight is give you a little bit of an upshot of the kind of theory that Frank Zappa took on board with the influence of Nicholas Sluminski. Nicholas Sluminski became a good friend of Frank Zappa's, so much so that he played his own pieces on stage with Frank Zappa's band all the way back in 1981, and I believe a few other performances as well, even up to 1988, I believe. I could be wrong on that, but that's what I'm led to believe. And also the fact that because he was a personal friend, he became a personal friend of Frank Zappa's, that he called his cat Grody to the Max, which is a line by Moon Zappa, his Frank's daughter, in Valley Girls. So, you know you're good friends when you name your cat after, here Grody, that kind of thing. So that's a lesser-known influence on Frank Zappa. And with the music I'm playing on the drums tonight, what I've tried to evoke with the triggering is I've got a piano sample, a grand piano sample. Concert grand, actually, is what it says on GarageBand, which is a lot cheaper than the Synclavier was, let me tell you. And what happens is I've triggered it up, and I'm trying to evoke some fairly jagged and angular lines with the music that I've played for you to evoke this influence of Frank Zappa's. Okay, hope you like it.